the knight in shining armor is the most enduring and evocative image of the medieval period. His armor is a vibrant reminder of an age when warriors were encased in steel, and the man himself became the weapon. At the height of its evolution, armor reached a peak of artistic achievement, a unique sculptural medium that made the knight look splendid, intimidating, invulnerable. It was a triumph of technological achievement, and its development was inextricably linked to that of other weapons of war.
Well, hey y'all, JM Real Guys Reviews out here in the shop with this Smith & Wesson Model 60 357 Magnum. I was just getting ready to clean this little gun and started getting a little nostalgic, thinking about the history of the 357 Magnum, going all the way back to the 1930s, then with the development from that old N frame through the K frame with Bill Jordan, with the Model 19, Smith & Wesson famous iconic Model 19, and then all the way up to the mid-90s when the Model 60 went from a 38 Special, first all-steel revolver made, to the J Magnum frame in this 357 Magnum. While I clean this gun, take a little ride through history with me on the 357 Magnum, and then we'll head out to the range and shoot the iconic Smith & Wesson Model 19. The 357 Magnum, the oldest Magnum cartridge, was developed as a direct response to Colt's 38 Super Auto that was the only handgun round in the early 20th century able to penetrate gangsters' vests and cars. It was introduced in 1934, and its use has since become widespread, starting the Magnum era of handgun ammunition, having the reputation for stopping power.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're out here doing some testing of body armor. In this case, we're testing plate armor. Plate armor is capable of stopping rifle rounds all the way up to .308 Winchester. We're testing threat level 3 plate armor. It's a lot more bullet resistant than Kevlar soft body armor that typically only is designed to stop handgun rounds. If you guys are in the law enforcement or military, you live with body armor. But if you're a prepared citizen, you may be looking for body armor, and you may want something more than just basic handgun protection that soft armor affords you. I brought out 3 different products this afternoon, and these range in price from $90 all the way up to $675, but they all have unique properties. The plate that I'm holding here is capable of stopping, it's rated to stop 6 rounds at .308 repeated hits, and this is your $675 product. And this is your $90 product. This is AR 500 steel that has a Line-X coating over it to stop bullet fragmentation. And this is very affordable. This particular plate is just over $400, closer to $500, and its unique property is that it's super lightweight and it's buoyant. This will actually float. So we're going to take these plates, we're going to shoot them, we're going to see just how well they stop bullets, and show you guys some of the different products that are on the market. Let's go ahead and get started. The first plate we're going to test this afternoon is the AR500 Armor steel plate. Now the plate that I'm holding has a Line-X material over the steel, and this is the heavy buildup version. What the Line-X does is it's supposed to capture the bullet fragments and keep them from coming back and hitting the wearer. Imagine me wearing this steel plate, and if it was unprotected, it didn't have the Line-X on it, when an incoming round hits, the splatter comes out towards the wearer. Now in my experience shooting steel plates, the splatter doesn't come straight back at, or straight up at a right angle towards the shooter. It comes away at a 10 to 20 degree angle. So in theory, the splatter should go away from the wearer, but this Line-X assures that there will be no splatter coming up towards the person wearing it. Now this is a new product. I have one of their older plates that just had a black painted finish. It has nothing to capture the bullet fragments. It's just a 1/4 inch thick plate steel plate. It is AR500 as the name implies, which is the same stuff that you'll find on heavy-duty rifle targets that you'll actually see me out here shooting on the range as well. Now you'll also notice that this plate has a slight curvature to it. This curvature makes wearing the plate more comfortable. It contours to your body. The plate that we're going to shoot this afternoon is just a flat steel plate. It's an option. You can order it either flat or with the contour. And the plate that we're going to shoot with the Line-X costs $90. So it's $65 for the basic model, which will have Line-X on it, or if you pay $25 extra, you can have the heavy buildup, which this is again, of the Line-X that gives you quite a bit more protective material. I'm going to set this in the box behind me on a holder, and the reason I'm putting this plate in a box is because it is steel. The ceramic plate that we're going to shoot out here this afternoon will catch the bullets. This is just going to let, supposedly, if it was just bare steel, would have those fragments shoot out in all directions. So we've put it in this cardboard box so we'll be able to see what bullet fragments, if any, come off this steel plate with the Line-X treatment. Let's head back to about 30 yards and we'll shoot it first with 223 Remington. I'm going to fire one round of M193 ball Federal. This is 5.56 spec ammo. We're not going to shoot 223 at it. We're going to shoot 55 grain military ball. I'm going to fire one round at about 30 yards out of the IWI Tavor, and we'll see what it does. All right, let's run down range, see what we got. All right, we're down range after firing one round of M193 ball at the AR500 Armor steel plate. Now the first thing I noticed is there's no signs of fragmentation anywhere on this cardboard box around the steel plate. So no fragmentation from that bullet strike is coming off the plate. Next, take a look at the plate. The only sign of damage is this Line-X material slightly pulled away from the armor plate. The bullet entered the Line-X, hit the steel plate, and the bullet fragments shot out underneath this Line-X. None of the bullet fragments escaped this Line-X coating, so it did its job. You'll also notice on the back side, there's no signs of bulging. I can't feel anything. I certainly don't see anything. So it doesn't appear that that M193 ball round did anything to damage the steel plate, again from about 30 yards. I'm going to set it back inside the box. I'm going to hit it with 308 next, and let's see how this thing fares against a 308 hit. Now another thing I thought was really interesting was you'll notice that when I hit that steel plate with the 5.56 round, it didn't knock that steel plate over, it didn't send it sailing to the back of the box. You could just barely tell through the scope of the rifle that it took a hit at all. So much for the notion of knockdown power, right? At least with 5.56. Let's see how it does with 308. Now I'm going to fire one round of 308, which is actually military ball, 7.62 by 51. This is Radway green. I'm going to fire one round of it through the Vepr at 30 yards. Let's see how it does. That knocked the plate over. All right, let's go see what it did. All right, we're back down range after hitting the AR500 Armor steel plate with a 308 round. This time it did knock the plate over, but it didn't send it sailing backwards, it just knocked it over. And just so you guys know, it's not anchored down. This is just a little piece of plywood down there that's these plates are this plate's setting on. It's not even moving that plywood back. So here's the plate after taking a hit. The bullet hit right about here. You can see the Line-X material is really sticking away from the plate. I see no signs of fragmentation anywhere in the cardboard box. I see a few soft pieces of Line-X material here that were blown out of the steel plate, but no fragments escaped. It stopped the round. Now the 308, you can't really see it, but I can feel a slight bulge right there where it hit. So it did put a pretty good divot in that plate from 30 yards, but no signs of penetration.
XM-25 that the Army is experimenting with right now. See it? It is extremely high-tech and maybe more accurate than any gun before it. Why? Here's why. With this thing, a soldier can hit bad guys from as far as 2.5 football fields. And here's the push. They can do so even if the target is hiding behind a wall or hiding behind a trench. As you may be able to see in this demonstration, the ammo actually goes around the barricade and hits the target from behind. I understand as you watch this, you probably have a lot of questions. I've seen some of them coming in on Twitter. So do I.